So today I'm going to be installing the timing chain cover and the harmonic balancer. And what I'm going to do to install the cover is I'm going to add a little small thin layer of RTV on the block, and then I'm going to add a thin layer on the cover itself, and I'm still going to be adding the gasket in between that. What I'm going to be using is The Right Stuff by Permatex 90-minute. So what I'm going to do is just with my finger just rub a really thin layer, and I'm going to go ahead and install the gasket. So I went ahead and installed the bolts. In the instructions it says to hand tighten and let it sit for about an hour before you go ahead and torque it down. So that's what I did. Just make sure that all the bolts are hand tight, and I'm just going to wait an hour and then come back and torque them all down. So it's been an hour, and now I'm going to go ahead and torque down the bolts to 72 inch-pounds or 6 foot-pounds. And I'm going to go ahead and start in the middle and work my way out crisscross. That's how I'm going to be torquing down the timing cover. And this is the balancer I'll be using, Summit Racing. It's an 8-inch external balance, since the stroker kit is external balance. That's the part number. Comes with instructions, and here it is. Look at that. And on the sides got the numbers already on it to make timing pretty easy. I think every 90 degrees there's a mark. So I'm gonna go ahead and install this. So before installing the balancer, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is clean the snout, make sure it's perfectly clean of debris, and I'm gonna go ahead and add lube to the main seal, to the lip of the seal, so it doesn't run dry. And then go ahead and add a semi lube on the snout, and then clean the balancer both inside and outside so it can install easy, and then add a little lube on the inside so it'll slide in easier. So I went ahead and added some ARP lube to the threads, so hopefully this install will go on pretty easy. So I finally got the balancer installed. It was pretty tough. It took a while, but I ended up adding engine oil instead of using the ARP lube. But yeah, it's basically just turn the wrenches until you physically can't turn them anymore, and that's really when you're done. If you can measure from the inside of the snout where it's flat to the outside of the balancer, it should be about 1 inch. And if you're about at 1 inch, give or take a few thousandths, that means you bottomed out and that the balancer is installed all the way. So the timing pointer I'll be going with is the Summit Racing billet adjustable, and looks like this. It's the one that works for the aluminum timing covers, since I'm be using that. Thing is, since the aluminum timing cover is a little thick, these bolts that come with it are a little too short. So I went to Ace Hardware, got myself these stainless steel Allen head bolts. These are a 1/4 by 20 thread, and it's 1.5 inches long. To just go to your local hardware store and just get that if you'll be using the timing cover I'm using, which is that aluminum timing cover. So if you're using this, both of these, you'll be needing longer bolts. Okay, so one thing I forgot to do was install the pointer, and you gotta install this pointer before you install the balancer, because this bolt is pretty much impossible to install and torque down if you have the balancer in the way. So just go ahead and install the pointer before the balancer, and then torque that down while the sealer is drying. And now we're gonna go ahead and find top dead center and then adjust this pointer. And these Allen heads are 9/64. That's the size you'll be needing. And I'm gonna go ahead and remove them and add blue RTV, blue thread sealant, find top dead center with my thick bridge, and dial indicator, and then move this around until it lines up with TDC and tighten it down. So I found top dead center. Now I already added the thread sealer, and I just gotta push this all the way up and then tighten it down. And what I did to move the rotating assemblies, I put in 2 bolts and then grab a breaker bar, put the bar right in between them, and then just pull on it to move it back and forth. So you just want to make sure that you install the pointer before you install the balancer, so that bolt right there is easier to install. And then when you install the balancer, you want to make sure you get a ruler, put it on the snout and measure it to the outside of the balancer. That should be around 1 inch, and that really does it for the install. If you have any comments, any questions, if you want to leave some tips, or anything you want to say, just leave them down in the comments, or DM me on Instagram. And next video should be assembling the heads. just not sure when I'll be able to get to that, but I most likely will be the next video. So yeah, if you got anything to say, leave it down in the comments or DM me. And I'll see you guys soon. See ya.